Hello lovely people, welcome back to this house of fashion. Hope you are fond of the day. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut this lovely style you are seeing on the screen. The style is of two different fabric, the flower fabric and the plain fabric. You can see the flower fabric here is 4 inches, as in 4 yards long. Then the main body, I'm making use of 2.5 yards. So the first cutting here is going to be the body, which I'll be folding into 4. So here is after folding it into 4. The first thing I want to determine here is going to be the length. The length I want to use here is going to be 42 inches. The 42 inches is with the seam allowance. We're still going to add that flower material to make it a full dress. So that is what I want to do here. So here is the length I'm using. The first thing I'm going to do here is to determine the shoulder measurement of 8.5 inches. Take your necessary shoulder measurement. This is not constant, it depends on the measurement you are using. So here is the shoulder measurement I'm using here. You can see. Then so I want to roll it out this way, just for me to have a straight line here. Then the next thing here is to take the shoulder slant of 1 inch. Shoulder slant of 1 inch. Then I'm going to take the roundness of the neckline, that is the wideness of the neck, which I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. This is not constant, it depends on how wide you want your neckline to be. Then the deepness is going to be 1.5, but I'm taking it from there to the shoulder slant first before taking the deepness of the neckline. So I can now go ahead and take my arm measurements to be 8 inches as well. Now the shoulder measurement was 8.5, but I want the armhole to be 8 inches because I don't want the armhole to be too wide. So I'm making use of 8 inches here. Then the half cut. The half cut is 17 inches. And here is it, 17 inches for the half cut. As you can see. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to take the bust measurement divided by 4. And here is it. You can see. This is my bust measurement divided by 4 with a seam allowance of 2 inches. 2 inches of seam allowance is here. Then the same thing to the waist measurement divided by 4. Here is it. With the same seam allowance of 2 inches. Then I cannot connect them together to give me a shape. So I'm starting from the armhole to the shoulder to bring out the shape of the armhole. Then I'm going to connect the bust measurement with the allowance to the waist measurement with the allowance together. So after the connection, I can now cut it out. So you can see the connection now. So I'm going to connect it. So from the waist, I'm going to slant it down to the wideness of what I folded out. And don't forget, I said I folded out 2.5 yards of duchess fabric. So I'm trying to cut it out to the armhole. To the bust measurement with the allowance. As you can see. To the waist measurement with the allowance. Then from here, I cannot slant it. If your hand is not straight enough, you can decide to make use of a ruler to make it slant properly. but here I can slant it properly without making use of ruler. So I'm going down to the full length of the dress. You can see. So after this now, I will now take away some inches up to 1.5 inches here. Then I'll now connect it like this, just to have a round shape at this other side here, so it will not have a sharp area there, like this. So the next thing to cut out here is going to be the neckline. You know, you have taken the wideness of the neck before, then we can now take the deepness now. So the first thing I'm going to take here is going to be the back deepness, which I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. Here is it, 1.5 inches. This is not constant, it depends on how you want it to be. Then you connect it together with the wideness that you've already taken out before. Then I can now cut it out now. So here I'm cutting for both back and front. Then I'll now take away the back to cut out to dip the front neckline a bit. So you can dip it to any deepness you want. It depends on how deep you want yours to be. All the measurements I'm taking here, they are not constant. So this is after taking away the back. Then that's my deepness of the front neckline. You can see I've come down with some inches. Then I'll now connect it together like this. Then I can now cut it out. Can now cut it out. As you can see. So we're done with the front neckline as well. So here is the back neckline. I want to divide the back into two because there's going to be a zip at the back. So I'm trying to divide the back by 2. You can see. So here is the remaining inches that we're going to use to make a gathers at the down part of this dress that I cut out to make it a complete dress. You know, this is from the shoulder to below the knee. Then this is about 22 inches wideness in width, and the length is 4 yard, like I said earlier. So that's what I'm going to use. So this is another folded fabric. I folded this into 4. This is going for the sleeve. You can see this is into 2, then this is another into 2, making into 4. This is for both sleeves, and the wideness here is about 10 inches. So when you open it, that's 20 inches, you know. So this is okay. Then the length of the sleeve is what we're going to determine here. It depends on the length you are using. So here is my length of sleeve. So I'm going to take that now, the length of sleeve. Then I'm going to sketch out the armhole for the sleeve. So taking some inches down to, let me say, 4 inches. This is not constant, it depends on how you want it to be. So 4 inches is here. Then I'm going to make a S shape like this. You can see from this point to this point, you can see it's 4 inches. Then I'm going to be my shape of the armhole. You can see the way I sketch it out. Then this is what we're going to cut out. So if you want it to go down a bit, you can make it go down a bit. So let me just decide to add 2 inches to it to make it 6 inches, because I want it to go down a bit. So instead of me using the 4 inches, I now decide to use the 6 inches now. You can see. Then this is what I'm using. Then the next thing is to take the roundness of this down part. No, the whole wideness was 10 inches. Then here I'll make use of 8 inches. 8 inches. There's still going to be an elastic cover, so I'm deducting 2 inches. So I don't want the down part to be same thing as the upper part here. So I will now slant it down to the 8 inches from the upper part here. So let me cut it out and show you the way it's going to be. So now We are done with the cutting of the sleeve. We're going to keep this aside. Then there is a straight cut coming from the shoulder to the knee length of the dress. So at the shoulder is very tiny. When you get to the waist, start bringing out some A shape. So that's what we want to cut out. Then we're going to fix it to the front of the clothes. So I'm going to determine the necessary measurements from the down part here to the waist measurement, then to get the full length of what we need here. So the length we need here is the length of the body. The body was 40 inches, so we're supposed to need 40 inches length here, but I added 4 inches to it at the upper part, so that by the time I'm placing it, when I have enough length, I'll be able to place it properly. So that's why I decided to add up to 4 inches to it. Then the length of what I want to, the wideness of what I want to cut out now is going to be 0.75. So by the time I open it, I'll be left with 1.5 inches, and the 0.5 inches is going for the seam allowance, because what I need is 1 inch. So I'll not take it. I'll take that 0.75 to above the navel, which is 22 inches. Here is it. So my 0.5 inches, 0.75 inches is getting to this point. So after this point, I'm going to have a slant line to this wideness I'm taking out. So the wideness is about 4.5 inches, but by the time we open it, it's going to be 9 inches. So let me now take it down to that place, then cut it out for you to see. So here is the wideness we need. You can see this is the shape we are looking for. You can see what I've cut out. I've opened it out now. This is what we need. So this is going to be at the front of the half cut. So let me go and join this together and show it to you. So here I'm trying to iron the center out, so I'll know my center before placing what we just cut out down at the center. So I've ironed it out. Then this is what we are having. Then I cannot bring out my center, that straight cut that we cut out, then place it at the front of the dress now. Because it's not going to be straight, it's going to be in a slant form. Then we're going to take the distance of the bust, which is going to be about 4.5 inches, so it has to be there. Then we're going to slant it to the center. So that is how we're going to do it. Then after placing it firmly, then I will sew on it. You can see the way I'm trying to make this to be at the center. So that's why I left some inches up, so that by the time I'm slanting it, I'll be on the safer side with the length of what I'm placing at the front of the dress. So now this is the down part with gathers. We're going to place it, stitch it down at the down part of the half cut to make it a dress. You can see I've gathered the 4 yard length that I told you, and this is what I've placed at the front of the half cut. You can see the way I slant it, and that is the excess at the upper part. I'm going to trim it out, as you can see. So the next thing here is to take the shape, then join the gathered part to the down part of the half cut to make a complete dress. So then I'm going to add my sleeve to it. This is an elastic sleeve mouth. You can see there's an elastic here. I've done that, so just for me to attach it to the armhole, then show you the finishing. Welcome welcome back. Hello, finished work so far. This is after stitching everything together. This is the sleeve. You can see the neckline, you can see the front to the center here, and here is the gathers at the down part. You can see how beautiful this turns out. If you're watching me for the first time, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials, and for those who have already subscribed, I really appreciate you guys for watching my video always. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.